Hello everybody, welcome back at Sports Federation TV, and we're talking tonight, well, we've already spoken about what's happening in the world of athletics. Coming up a little bit later, the world of Kyokushin Kai, full contact karate, that comes up. We'll speak to Shian, Kenny, Aiton Bogart, 8th Dan. There's only 3 full contact in the world of the International Kyokushin Organization. There's only 3 8th Dans in the world. He'll tell us about the upcoming trip to Japan, where the South African team is going to be competing in the World Champs. And we will also be taking a look at what's happening in the world of sports science. We'll be joined by Dr. Mike Postumus, the head of the high performance section at Sports Science. Don't forget, a little bit later, I'm going to give you an opportunity to win yourself a case of Bashoes. All right, fantastic cool drinks. I've always loved them. One of my favorite ones is the cocoa pine, or at least the pineapple. And of course, the ginger beer. A lot of people say the ginger beer is the best. But joining me now on the show is the chairperson of the Cape Winelands District Sport Council. He's also the acting vice president at the Western Cape Provincial Sport Confederation. But I think for purposes tonight, Lorenzo, we're talking about the world of Cape Winelands. Welcome to Sport Federation TV.
Hello, good evening, JP. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, look, I'm not sure if I've been on the other side of the fence here, having a chat with you. You're doing a fantastic job in the Cape Winelands. We see a lot of social media activity. We're always seeing what you're busy with from an administrative perspective. You've been at the helm there now for 3 or 4 years. How are things going?
You know, JP, we've seen the progress now. When you start, you actually, you actually want to run into things. But one of the administrators came to me once and he said, "Now, how do you eat an elephant?" And I said, "How do you eat it?" He said, "1 bite at a time."
Yeah.
And in really understanding that, you understand where we moved to the past 2, especially years now. I think we had about 17 structured organized or 4 sport federations that side. We now have over 40.
So when we talk about that, for folks who don't really understand the structure, you're talking about the legitimate SASCOC sport federations who, according to legislation in South Africa, must belong to a council or a confederation and have a national body structure at SASCOC. In other words, the SA Rugbies, the SA Tennises, the SA Judos will have at Cape Winelands or Boerland a Cape Winelands Tennis, Cape Winelands Rugby, Cape Winelands Football, Cape Winelands Table Tennis, and so forth. Am I right?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
And again, that's what we go through. That's whenever they apply, and also we assist them in getting those structures in place now.
Yeah.
But those are the first conditions. We see whether they are structured okay and whether they do have a national body recognized by SASCOC.
So your job on a daily basis, in terms of being the chairperson of Cape Winelands, is to engage with those federations in your district. And they've of course got lots of clubs, so they'll be coming to you daily with looking for advice, looking for assistance. Maybe tell us a little bit about constitution matters, administrative matters. What's your kind of daily tasks?
Daily, it's quite fun if you actually look at it. I'm saying you get these sport federations, you feel that they're more organized. But actually, when you move with them, you start seeing that even though they've been in sport 20 years, being an administrator every week there's a new challenge, and you need to support them in that now. Yeah. Because sometimes I'm saying what's new for them might be old school for me. I've done it before, so we support each other, we try to grow together, and definitely it's been a success. We've got the trust there, we've got the support there, we've got the unity there. Now we're just looking forward.
So if we look at things from a Western Cape perspective, we know that the province itself is made up of 6 districts, being Cape Town, Cape Winelands, West Coast, Overberg, Central Karoo, and Eden. Those are the 6 municipal districts. But within each of these districts, there's also municipalities or smaller municipalities and so forth. Now, in the Cape Winelands, you've got a number of different municipalities, and you, for one, have had quite a big success at engaging with the municipal structures and getting to be involved with those various federations. Just tell us about those municipalities you've been involved with, and maybe how did you get them involved with you, because you've scored a win there.
Yeah, no, definitely. We see the municipalities as a strategic partner in our way forward.
Yeah.
I'm saying with federations, they don't always have the resources or the manpower to get to grassroots level.
Yeah.
And again, when it comes to facilities, they also need support there. So we realized that we need to partner and we need to engage with the municipalities, get them on board, sit around the table and plan together how we can work together to make a success.
Okay, so just define that for me. What would you say is a facility, typically? For the folks that don't know anything about sport, we talk about, in the world of sport, facility. And we all know how do you define a facility?
Look at any sport code. In order to participate in sport, you need a venue. Whether you're indoor sport, you need a nice hall that's big enough, or the roof needs to be a certain height, or the lights need to be a certain quality. When it comes to outdoor, it's your rugby fields, your soccer fields. And it's these kind of stuff. But not only that, There's no sense you have a rugby field, but you don't have your clubhouse. You know what I'm saying? You don't have those facilities next to it. So in order to engage, you need communities to engage. You need communities to take care of those facilities when municipality offer it to you. You know what I'm saying? So it's actually going hand in hand.
Do we have enough indoor facilities?
To be honest, look at Cape Winelands. The vast area we cover in the Cape Winelands, and unfortunately we do not have enough facilities, sport facilities specifically for indoor sport.
Yeah.
And that's the whole problem at the moment. Yes, we do have community halls, but you know what I'm saying? Look at it. A community also have their functions, and they also use these halls. So you cannot double use it or double task one hall. So you need facilities that's specifically for sport.
Yeah.
Your table tennis needs certain lighting in a hall.
Yeah,
You cannot go in there, just put a board there and play table tennis. The same with Q sport. You cannot take a pool table back and move it in and out every evening because there's another function the next day. So you need facilities that you can actually multitask for sport or multi-use for sport, where you have your Q sport, your karate, your judo, everybody in one hall, but they can actually use it also for their district or the provincials.
So where would you typically go? Who would you typically in a district go and speak to when you realize that some of your federations need, in this example, more indoor facilities? Do you go knock on the mayor's door, or do you go knock on the local ward councillor's door? How do you do it?
Funny, yes, in the past you would try to first go to one of the officials there, but the past few years now we've engaged. And we're now bragging, we go to the mayor's door. Yeah. So we now go to, if we need to go to Langeberg, the doors are standing open for our council. So we go to Mayor Jansen and say, Mayor Jansen, this is the problem that we have. We need to host, or we want to host this district event, but we don't have a venue. Can you assist us? Or we can go to, like we've been to Witzenberg. And the Witzenberg community always felt a bit left out because, you know what I'm saying, they're on that side of the mountain, they're far away. But now, the mayor opened his doors now and acts when it comes to sport. We can anytime call him on his cell phone and ask, this is where we have a problem with. And we came to realize politicians are not, you know what I'm saying, they're actually community members. They are there to help us.
From the neighborhood, yeah.
Yeah, they're from the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And for them, it's, you know what I'm saying, their doors are open to assist. We just need to realize we don't have to, you know what I'm saying, every time knock on the back door. We can go at the front door and ask.
Because I would imagine there must be lots of other different sport codes or clubs or federations who go knocking on their door directly. But because these political parties, municipal structures, government structures don't necessarily know who the official endorsed legitimate parties are, they now have you to come to.
Yes, definitely. And also now what is nice now, even before they start any process, they engage with us, they partner with us, and we sit around together around the table and say, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to good governance, what do you expect? When it comes to sport clubs now, it's in the past now, the door would have been closed and say, because you're not structured correct, we cannot help you. Yeah. Now the municipality comes to us and say, how can you assist us to get those clubs structured? Because we want to assist those clubs. They're part of our community. But how can you assist us to get them organized? And you know what we see? Even now, we get talent out of those community clubs that can now become part of the federations now. We have sometimes, you know what I'm saying, athletes that would not have been identified out of these clubs, gets identified for the, you know, and that's not just because of this partnership now.
Right, the final question then for you, Lorenzo. What's next for Cape Winelands under your leadership?
We've, as I said again, we're taking it bite by bite.
We didn't take the cue from the
we're just looking at that now. So we actually, whenever we work forward now, we look up to our governing body and we say, Western Cape, how do you want us to move forward? Because, again, our Western Cape Provincial Sport Confederation now, when it comes to governance, I think, and I normally say it, and I know I will be, if you call it, penalized in future, but I always brag and I say Western Cape is the best because when it comes to good governance, our leadership lead us. And they always, whether you good or bad, they will tap you on the fingers if you're wrong, but they will guide us in the right direction. So going forward, that's what we hope for.
Does sport in Cape Winelands have a rosy future?
Look at Commonwealth Games. Yes, we talk about Luva Manyonga. Yes, we talk about Rushwell Samai, but where do they come from?
Oh, so you're laying claim.
Look at Justin Anton, cricket. Yeah, he's a coach there, but where does he come from?
Now you guys certainly.
Yeah, so we can brag about the talent.
Yeah.
So yes, we can say, forget about anything else, but we are the feeding line for talent in South Africa. So where's Cape Winelands going? We are on the podium there.
Lorenzo, Arendse, chairperson of the Cape Winelands Sport Council, and of course vice president at for federations at the Western Cape Provincial Sport. You're doing a fantastic job in the Cape Winelands. I think sport can be very lucky that they've got you at the helm there. Best of luck that side, and we look forward to following up and getting a camera out there to see what's happening in Cape Winelands.
Definitely. As I said, our gates are open. The talents are there. We invite you anytime.
Yeah, we'll come and make sure the mayor gets you more indoor facilities.
No, definitely.
There we go. We'll bring the camera out there. Right, folks, remember, if you want to win yourself a case of Bashu's cool drink, all right, then all you need to do is SMS the word Bashu's to 33090. Bashu's to 33090. And you could win yourself a case of Bashu's. A little bit later in the show, I will tell you who the winner is of last week's competition. So just SMS the word Bashu's to 33090. Right, when I come back after the break, I'm going to be speaking to Dr. Mike Postumus. He is the head of high performance at the Sports Science Institute. And then a little bit later, we'll speak to Shian Kenny Aiton Bogart from Kyokushin Kai Full Contact Karate. They're on the way to Japan to go compete in the World Championships. And he's joined by local competitor Corne Fourie. Back in a sec.